Shannon Sharpe refuses to attend Undisputed following Skip Bayless tweet about Damar Hamlin. Shannon Sharpe was absent from January 3's episode of Undisputed. It was believed that the commentator refused to show up after his co-host Skip Bayless made a tactless tweet about Damar Hamlin's medical emergency in the NFL the other day. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin had an unexpected injury when he was playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. Damar collapsed when he stood up after tackling the Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins. It was reported that Hamlin suffered from a cardiac arrest and needed to be revived in the field. He was surrounded by his team to shield him from public view. He was then taken by ambulance to the hospital. Both teams and fans gathered outside, holding lit candles and praying. Injuries are a part of playing football, but what happened to Damar caused so much anxiety and fear among fans, spectators, and his teammates. According to a medical expert, Damar's medical condition resembles commotio cordis. It's an extremely rare occurrence and is life-threatening. Everyone was hoping and praying that the NFL player would soon get better. His team released a statement saying, Damar Hamlin suffered a cardiac arrest following a hit in our game versus the Bengals. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he was transferred to the UC Medical Center for further testing and treatment. He's currently sedated and listed in critical condition. Dr. Marie-J. T. Chukwumerije, a cardiologist at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, California, told Entertainment Tonight that statistically speaking, the chances of survival after CPR are low, but Damar's age and overall health have been an advantage. His young age is the best thing he has going for him, because he actually has a better chance of survival because of that. However, his young age did not have anything to do with what happened to him, and in this situation, it's likely just a bad timing of the impact to his chest, which these players put themselves at risk for each time. This situation, I think from the limited information that we have and watching the video, it looks like the mechanism of arrest in Damar Hamlin was a direct impact to the center of his chest, which unfortunately happened at a perfect time when his heart was trying to relax, and that's what led to the sudden cardiac arrest. ESPN reported that both teams were given a 5-minute warm-up to resume playing, but this was completely untrue. According to the NFL's executive vice president Troy Vincent, he said, "I'm not sure where that came from. It never crossed our mind to talk about warming up to resume play. That's ridiculous. That's insensitive. That's not a place we should ever be in." NFL executive vice president of communications Jeff Miller added after the postponement, "There's nothing in consideration right now. Our concern is for the player and his well-being. At the appropriate time, I'm sure that we'll have a conversation around the next steps regarding the game." It took an hour after Damar collapsed for the NFL to officially suspend the game. Damar's situation was unexpected and shocking, but what was more surprising and left many fans speechless was Skip Bayless' tweet. Just minutes after Hamlin's emergency, Skip tweeted, which made fans criticize him for his lack of empathy. He tweeted, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant." Within seconds of posting this tweet, he was under fire from many fans because of his insensitivity and lack of consideration. Many argue that his thoughts were solely focused on the game and that he forgot about the terrifying situation Damar was in. They all believe that his tweet was uncalled for because nothing was certain yet about Damar's condition. The game is nothing compared to the well-being of Damar. Once he noticed all the hate and criticism he received from that tweet, he immediately posted a second tweet writing, "Nothing is more important than that young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and will continue to." When the show aired the day following the game, Skip's co-host Shannon Sharpe was absent. Skip addressed his absence saying, "Obviously my partner Shannon Sharpe is not here today. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow." TMZ reported that Shannon was clearly upset over Skip's tweet, which led him to skip the show. Skip later apologized for his tweet during the show and clarified the misunderstanding about it.
Apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front, I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. In fact, I'm still wrecked. In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this show today. But after barely sleeping on it, I decided to give it a try. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe we will fail, but we're going to try. We wrestled through much of the night whether to even do a show today because it felt like, in our minds, we almost can't win with this because the last thing we want to try to do is come off as insensitive to what this young man is going through in a life or death situation. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports.
Later that day, he still attempted to explain everything he said on Twitter. He tweeted, "And then came my third tweet, which I believe was widely misinterpreted. I don't follow what's happening on Twitter, I just tweet. But my boss here at Fox called and said, hey, people are really reacting strongly to your tweet. Maybe you should clarify." Which I immediately did. I made the point that this late in the season, with a game of this magnitude, it's very difficult to postpone it. Yet the end of my tweet was, all of which suddenly seemed so irrelevant. For the first time in the history of the NFL, my point was it was all rendered irrelevant by what was happening on the football field in front of all those football players. They were shaken to their foundations. Many fans, including players from different sports, were calling for the sport commentator to be fired. New York Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner said, "Are you seriously talking about when the football game should be postponed? Damar Hamlin's health is all that matters at the moment, nothing else." Former NFL tight end Alex Holmes tweeted, "You are despicable, old man. Shame on you." NBA star Isaiah Thomas tweeted, "I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of the game is very sad." Terrell Owens also took to Twitter to express his anger. "You're despicable. I hope to God you lose your job for this tweet. You really think this game holds more weight than this young man's life? Dude, you're dead wrong for this." Shannon returned to the show the next day and almost had a heated argument with Skip. Shannon said,
"I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So they struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No, I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Skip protested that the bosses had no problem with his tweet but wanted him to clarify what he meant by it. His apology on the show was something fans expected because this was the usual tactic for damage control. But they noticed that in all the 20 minutes of Skip's apology, he never apologized for his tweet. He looked like he had no regrets or remorse for making that disrespectful tweet. Nothing has been said about Skip's status on the show. However, there was a massive protest against him, and everybody just wanted him out. If you can recall, Skip also made an insensitive tweet about Dak Prescott's battle with depression 2 years ago. As for Damar, he was finally awake after 3 days since his cardiac arrest. His team announced, while still critically ill, he has demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact. His lungs continue to heal and he is making steady progress. Damar's teammate also tweeted about his condition. He tweeted, "Our boy is doing better, awake and showing more signs of improvement. Thank you, God. Keep the prayers coming, please. All love." What is your opinion of Skip's comment? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned for more videos.
Are you not entertained? If you are, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.